a fair-skinned woman with blonde hair, none other than Mara, works her way through the bleak passages of the Underdark. Her breath is gated. She feverishly passes through the tight crevices, making her way deeper and further into the depths of the ancient passageways. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to another adventure with Myths and Mystics. We're an actual play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons podcast. And to my right is Gerald Waldrop as Zarin the Changeling Avenger.
Hail and well met.
Natasha Waldrop as Vanya the Half-Drow Assassin.
Hello.
And Matt Murphy as Stone the Human Mystic.
Hello. Much has transpired during a short intro.
And I am Steve Messenger, your Dungeon Master. Thanks for tuning in. We're glad to have you here, and it's amazing the things that we try to cram in when we know we have only like 45 seconds of microphones muted.
It's not a we. It's a one person.
I feel like I'm now in like a Judge Judy situation,
Oh.
right? Or the whole tone of this episode is going to change. Where no longer are we a D&D podcast. It's now going to be me hearing out your civil dispute. Apparently, there was maybe some ketchup on someone's face or something.
Something like that.
Something like that.
My lipstick.
And then apparently, this was a major issue.
It was because he smeared it all over my face.
This is what happens when you have a non-professional applying your makeup. I didn't apply your makeup.
So apparently we need to get makeup services for the show. Someone to do hair, maybe?
Yeah, hit us up at on Facebook, mythsandmystics.com.
Yep.
Or missandmystics@gmail.com, right?
We've got all kinds of Myths and Mystic stuff. Turns out if you Google us these days, we're predominantly the thing that comes up on Google.
Whoop, whoop.
There's another guy that wrote some songs a long time ago.
He was up there for a little.
And I think you should still go check out his stuff. You should support Myths and Mystics in all forms, whether it's us or not, unless it's weird. In which case, still check it out, but then tell us about it. But we're glad you're here with us. We're excited to have you tuned in. Thanks for tuning in on the podcast and also checking us out on Twitch and the YouTubes. All the video stuff we got going on over there. It is glorious. Glorious, I say.
Definitely want to check us out on YouTube.
We look much better on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. That's
wait.
Wait. Hey. You. So, yeah. We're catching up with our fellas here and our gals. Y'all were intercepting a little bit of a meeting that was going to go down into none other than the Drunken Wyvern.
Yeah.
And there were some deals that the Arcos was doing with none other than your dear friends, Baron Liam and his son, Olin.
The dark-haired douche.
The dark-haired douche. The other dark-haired douche.
Le douche.
Le douche. And you found out that there was a back room that they were going to be meeting in at the Drunken Wyvern.
Douche.
You were posted up in there. Zarin decided to go investigate to see what was taking this guy so dang long. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Probably his hair.
Yeah.
And as you
Makeup.
step out,
Lipstick.
grab the brush and put a little makeup.
Yeah.
Hide the scars and fade away to shake it.
You wanted to.
You wanted to. So what did Zarin want to do? He wanted to go see what the hell is going on. So he steps out into the bar area, and none other than at that point, in comes Olin, followed by his personal bodyguard.
Yeah.
A Titan, which, if you do recall, Baron Liam used to travel with one as his own personal bodyguard. You actually saw that at the Hinder Narwhal at the prize fight. He had one with him there. And it turns out Olin also travels with one. Quite the predicament. So in this moment, Dinesh has pointed over to Zarin, who's in the form of Roderick, also known as Hugh Jackman. No relation. And he points over that way and says, oh yeah, the gentleman's right over there. And Olin locks eyes with you. And he kind of lifts his chin and he nods. He looks a little confused, but he gives you the nod of like, okay. And he makes his way around the bar.
There nods back and nods toward the doorway and
All kinds of
Nods
cheesy,
all around.
all kinds of cheesy nods.
I'll try
Everyone's nodding.
match. I'll
Yes.
up my douche game and nod toward the door and the room back
Excellent.
in the back and walk that way.
He walks around the bar, and he motions over to Dinesh. He's, hey, did you get my drink for me? And he says, oh yeah, they've already got it for you in the room there. And he says, good work. That's why I like you. That's why you're the finest. And Dinesh mutters something like motherfucker under his
Something like.
and he turns around and he starts splashing some drinks together. And
Says it with a smile.
yeah, with a smile.
Service with a smile.
Yep. And he walks up to Zarin and he extends a hand and he says, I don't believe we've met.
We have not yet, Sir Roderick.
So how long have you been working for Simon?
Quite some time. It's rather loud here. Let us make us our way.
Before we do, is Simon going to be joining us? I was under the understanding that he would be coming.
He did not tell me that he would be coming.
No. In fact, I feel like this whole thing's a bit early, but yes, let's step back. So he is. Are you leading the way?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you walk down the hallway and you see the bouncer there. He steps out of the way and he gives you another nod. You give a nod. Everyone's nodding. It's great. And
Nodding. We're all nodding.
Olin. Oh man. All right, I gotta roll a dice on this one.
Uh-oh.
I gotta roll some dice here. All right, so as they're walking up, Olin leans over to the bouncer in front of the door and he says, I've got security from here. You're relieved for the time being. We'll summon you when we're done. And the bouncer nods as Olin hands over a little bundle of gold there, a little pouch. And he walks off, and his Titan stands guard at the door. And he follows Zarin inside. And this is where you have like this plan that's going to hatch, right?
So the Titan is on the opposite side of the door, not inside the room.
Yep, he's going to be standing in the hallway.
So I don't see him.
I
Correct.
will open the door and motion him in so that Stone doesn't do the plan of slamming the door shut
Okay.
to make it too obvious. And I'll kind of position myself.
All right. I want to do a strength check between Stone and Zarin to see if Stone is able to slam the door.
Are you trying to look back at him like,
Did you not remember I just focused on my mastery of force?
Yeah. So
So
Zarin.
it's the two of us like pushing on the door, and I'm giving him like, "What the fuck, guys?
Shut the
You told me to shut the door.
So Zarin,
The door's open."
You give Stone a quick look and a nod, and Olin walks in and he says, "They were supposed to have some snacks for me in here, and no snacks, no snacks. That's all right. That's all right. Let's get to it." And he starts to sit down on one of the couches there, pretty low to the floor.
you'll drink?
Oh, perfect. And he reaches over and he says, "That man knows how to pour a drink." And he takes a big slurp out of it. And he does slurp.
That's the one I spit in.
He had all kinds of
Stone
opportunity
probably did.
to poison it or anything, but no, you just spit in it.
I don't think we carry poison. Vanya? You're that kind of guy.
Nah.
Okay.
All right. So,
I will take a seat at the table.
and the door's just going to stay open.
No. I'm closing the door.
Just not slamming it.
Right. Gingerly,
No.
casually,
So he's
formally.
he's casually sipping his drink, and he says, "So I'm excited to hear the progress that you've. Oh, what's this? Who's this?" And he's motioning up towards the cloaked figure in the corner.
He's my security.
I would
Stone keeps his head down, eyes shielded.
said,
Please do not speak to him directly.
I'd prefer it's just us in the room.
He's deaf mute. Worry not.
Roll a,
I was gonna totally suggest that in your head if you didn't.
roll a persuasion.
No, we
please.
both agreed.
Everyone agreed. so it's just
Roll to see if Stone's dumb and mute and deaf.
I feel like I should have advantage on
yeah. Do ya?
12. 13.
13. He says, "I'll allow it. Let's proceed. Let's not waste time here.
Most gracious of you, kind and benevolent sir.
Oh, thank you. It's not necessary. What's the update here? How's the tunnel looking?
Progress is working. We're doing well.
Progress is working.
Is this
Good words.
I'm good with these things
We are-
called words
we are
sometimes.
doing good jobs all the
Good job.
He
All of the goods are being done.
he nods and he says, "I think I'm tracking. Is there a clear path? Have you been
path-
able to blast the rubble down the main shaft there?
We have one final night, and then the path will be clear.
All right. So, as promised, we have 500 gold up front to take care of this, and then when this is all said and done, upon confirmation that we can pass the carriage through, we have 1,000 gold for your trouble." So he reaches down into his pouch and pulls out some smaller pouches of gold, and he kind of sorts them out. He says, "Here's the 500 we agreed upon. When exactly do you think we can go inspect the work and make sure that we can do this?"
We plan to send word, but it will be done within hours if all goes according to plan.
Perfect. And where do you propose that we meet you to shore up the details? I mean, we could just do this down by the tunnel.
Yes. By the tunnel will be perfect. That way you can inspect the work.
Excellent.
Ensure it is done up to your standard.
I like that. So I
You
guess
hear in your head while he's talking, I thought we were going to kill him now.
No, you thought wrong. Remember, we're waiting.
he says the other order of business here then is the as far as distribution goes. Will I be working with you on that directly, or will I be working with Simon?
Simon is having me take care of many of his dealings, but sometimes he sends me off on other missions, so there may be times when you meet with either of us.
Perfect. All right. Well, just so you know,
We should kill him now.
the idea on our end is that as this is the dwarven territory, they may be alerted by the blast. So we are effectively going to try to pass as many carriages through as possible right off the rip. We will likely need some additional security just in case some of the dwarven folks are alerted and they want to, come cause some trouble.
That has been arranged.
Perfect. That's what I like about the Arcos. They think 3 steps ahead.
Always.
You've got good men. So, any
Not
other...
quite as cunning as your father, though.
He's a brave man. He's done a lot for the Legion. I've got a great model to follow in his footsteps, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I have great respect for him.
Yes. Do you know him?
Only what I've heard,
What have you heard?
that he is always more than 3 steps ahead, and that he has done these many things for the Legion, that he was able to escape when his name was... They attempted to drag his name through the mud, and he evaded the murderous group that had been after him some months in the past.
Yes, it was a troubling time for sure. I mean, the amount of great things my father has done for the Legion and for Enervis, the fact that there were so many that wanted him on trial and hung for things that noble things. I mean, aren't you concerned about the security of Enervis? Don't you want to be able to go to sleep knowing that you'll be protected?
Of course, we all do. This is why we respect the Liam family.
Yes. So that's all he's trying to do is just protect our security and our boundaries. And when we have to rely on things like the hub to mitigate things like simple trade, that sort of thing, business, relying on something so mafia-esque, if that's a word. It's just there's no place for it these days. We should have a good, upstanding, moral, legal code that we abide by. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yes. So
What does your father do these days? I haven't gotten the pleasure of ever being able to meet him yet.
yeah, so he was heavily involved with the bringing the Titans on board, much like the Sir Edsel who stands outside. Quite a marvelous feat, but with some of the challenges we've had lately, the Legion is asking us and my father mostly to come up with new methods of, we'll say, fortifying our military, come up with some new weapons that will be able to supplement our strength, mainly so we can claim our independence from the hub.
Very good. When you say our independence from the hub, you mean you're a family line or?
No, the Legion. Let's face it, they've been in bed with the hub for ages upon ages, and let's face it, yes, the Legion needed them long ago, but the amount of murdering and it's terrible. I mean, even the woman that I've recently married, her husband and her father were brutally murdered at their wedding. I mean, one was a bolt was shot through his head, her father, and then her husband was strung up upside down and his blood let from him. I mean, and he was one of the Arcos. I mean, that must have been devastating for you.
Wait.
It was
Not
troublesome.
in game. Wait. I'm not deaf at all. I heard it all.
And it was troubling to hear about this. Don't even know why.
Take a pause.
Yep.
He said he just married this woman.
That just lost her husband and her father.
Right.
He married the widow.
Well,
Did we
Was it a widow?
not see her?
Yeah.
No, she was on the steps, the whole deal. So that's not my gal.
No.
Okay. So his relationship with her is over and done with, and he just...
Must be.
Okay.
So effectively, the first mission where you all met, where Zarin was tasked with killing the groom, and Vanya was tasked with killing the father of the bride. You did not get a good look at the bride herself. She was.
I didn't?
No one did.
I thought she was crawling up the stairs.
She was, but I mean, she's got veil and everything else. Hair was everywhere.
Mascara all over her face.
Big old mess. And she was.
I was outside, too. I mean...
If we could do like a clever flashback here, like there's a lot of ugly crying going on too. So like just a big mess.
I was outside making like a statue.
Yeah, killing one of the chefs.
yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty loose things that happened on that mission.
So this is what's going through Stone's head then
Yep.
was that bride my old girl?
How is your bride? What was her name?
Yeah, she's a bit of an obscure one. Her name. I've always just called her the bride. Her name is Sasha.
Sounds hot.
I was literally trying to make it so that I never said her actual name, like just the bride.
Gotcha. I had to do a check to make sure.
She has a name now. It's Sasha. Because that's
Roll persuasion, Steve.
her name is Sasha, and she's absolutely magnificent, powerful woman. To have something like that as traumatic, there's a lot of people that don't recover from such a thing, but she's done a lot of great things to give back to the community, to make this as positive as she can. Such a heartbreaking thing.
Ask him about a rumor that he was with a woman named Lillian.
That was very.
This is into his
That was
head,
very
sorry.
recent that you met Sasha. Then.
Yes. There's a previous love of mine that it just didn't work out. She couldn't bear me a child, so I had to pass. It just it's important to carry on the lineage, And trust me, I tried, and I did everything I could.
Damn it. Stone's coughing.
But she could not bear me a child.
Oh
And
my god.
unfortunately, she was a fantastic woman, but I believe she ended up living in, I think she moved to one of those communes out on the outskirts. What was it? Song Meadow, I believe. She ended up moving out to. And I haven't.
Stone takes out his notepad and starts writing down.
And that was some time ago. But I haven't heard of her, spoken to her. And as I'm saying all this, Stone, actually, I think all of you, you're starting to also recall a mission that you were on, beginning of season 2, where you were tasked with.
Good old days.
Yeah. You were tasked with hunting down some beasts that had torn through a town.
Song Meadow sounds familiar.
That was the name of the town
Yeah.
where they had
The
killed,
wolf ones?
Where they were branded.
and they had killed virtually everyone in that town.
Okay.
He says, yeah, I haven't heard from her, but I'm sure she's
Son
doing
of a
well.
bitch.
So, like I said, we can shore things up tonight. I'll give you a few hours. I'll meet you down there by the mines, and we'll start things moving.
Sorry, out of game. I was a bit distracted. What did he say about where his father was?
I don't
was
think he
hoping to do
said
that.
where he is.
I didn't say where it was.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
You didn't necessarily ask point blank, but he didn't say.
So, if that is all, I will meet you down there, call it 3 hours from now, and we'll get this thing moving. And he stands up,
Very well.
and he walks over towards the door, and he nods to the man in the cloak, and he pats you on the shoulder, opens the door, and
It's taking everything that Stone has to not just kill this man.
and
Olin, if
yes,
we get the opportunity,
yes,
if your father is free, I would be so honored if he was able to see our progress.
yes, I'm positive he will want to see it at some point, but this early in the venture, there's no way he's going to be able to come down. He's been giving counsel to Governor Salin ever since the incident, the attempted assassination. My father's been giving him close guidance to make sure that that sort of thing doesn't happen again, and that whoever had perpetrated that deed will be sought and will be killed.
Very good.
Quartered
that is-
even.
That is very important, understandable.
You know,
Shame I have to wait so long to meet such an honorable man.
Yes. In due time. In due time. And he nods and he says, I take my leave. You're a fine gentleman. And he opens the door.
Not as fine as you.
Not necessary, my friend. And he takes off.
I'm not your friend, pal.
I'm not your buddy, friend.
So he steps out into the hall. The door closes behind him. And it is now the three of you in this back room.
Closing the door.
I'm gonna wait a moment before I come down from where I'm sitting, just in case.
Okay?
Look at Stone. I admire your composure and discipline. We know where his father is now. And you'll have your opportunity in just a few hours.
We learned of more than that.
Yes.
There's business I may need to attend to in that town,
The meadow.
Song Meadow.
Very well.
Well,
How far
anyways,
is that from here?
I'm trying to
I don't remember.
we're gonna go meet him and possibly Baron Liam.
Well, Baron Liam's not coming to the underground. In 3 hours in the tunnel, it's just going to be Olin, the son. But we know Baron Liam has been giving counsel to the governor, and we know where the governor's house is. So we know where to get him.
Where's Song Meadow in relation to us right now?
It is east, southeast.
Okay. That's I mean, that's long. That's history. So it's not something that I'm going to pursue in the middle of this. So maybe down the road. But yeah, so I guess we'll just wait and make our stand down at the tunnels.
Very good.
I don't often do this, but I could see that you were getting pretty worked up over everything. What's going through Stone's head right now?
Stone lays down on a couch, kicks his feet up. Well,
Let me tell you where it all started.
let me tell you from the top. No. Yeah, so I'm wondering if my ex-girlfriend, who was everything in my life, might still be alive, or I'm terrified at the thought that she may be dead, as were most of the inhabitants of Song Meadow. It's one of those things Stone's going to have to find out. He can't just let that go. He's going to have to pursue that. And like, I don't know. There's that jealous rage, right? And Stone's not, lawful good. So he may act on that just out of pure hatred for this man. Or given circumstance, he may be more subdued. It's going to depend on the situation. So he chose to not act on his feelings during this meeting and use it as an intelligence gathering. So I think that was probably wise. And then we'll just see where it goes.
All right.
But he's pretty much had his hand on a blade since that guy entered the room, so to speak. So,
Gotcha.
and not so to speak.
So Zarin will look at Stone after commenting on admiring his composure. There is nothing that I will not do to see vengeance brought to those who took my love and my life from me.
Yeah, he won't answer. Stone will start to exit the room.
Yep. So the Stone exits first, and the bouncer is returning back to his post there. And then Vanya and Zarin, I think, kind of give each other sort of a glance.
I'll give her the go.
And then nod. Lots of nods. Again.
Nods all around. Yeah.
And
I thought about placing a coin, but he's going to meet up with us. So it's really kind of I don't need to know where this man's going. We're going to see him.
Right.
all right. So the three of you take your leave, exit the Wyvern, mount up on...
No. Stone goes to that bar.
Yep. Dinesh nods. He slides you a drink. You nod back. You drink the drink. Lots of nodding. And that, friends...
more on the Olin's tab there.
He's like, Olin's tab? We'll put it all on Olin's tab. Who wants a free drink on the house? And everyone raises their hand. Hey! And that, friends, is where we're going to cut to a break. Welcome to the break. You know what I broke today? Nothing. I'm doing great. Things have been a lot better ever since the incident. A lot less breaking other than this break, which it's about to go down. I would drop a fat beat and break it down for you, but let me just tell you in plain language that I can speak fluently, most of the time English, is that missandmystics.com has all the stuff that you need to know about the show. Videos. Oh, we have videos there. We have pictures that may or may not be related to the show. Our Instagram is there. We put pictures on there too. So I guess you could go at Miss and Mystics. Like, you have to download Instagram. This is new to me too. Download Instagram. Not a sponsor. Go to at Miss and Mystics, and just tell us stuff. Tell us all kinds of things. We like it when you tell us things. Leave us a review on iTunes, or there's like 30 other things you can download us on. There's like PodCon and Podcrawler. I don't even know how we're on these things. I think we're getting pirated, which is a blessing because that just means more people are downloading it. You know what to do. Find us on there. Visit Mystics.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the show. Welcome back from the break. Hopefully you got a snack. Hopefully you got something to drink. And we're back.
And back.
Did you like that?
That's a good rhyme.
That's going to be our return from the commercial break little jingle there.
Yeah, I like it.
You remember back in the day, Saturday morning cartoons, it would be like, we'll be right back. And they'd have little cartoon guys
I
dancing.
remember it well.
Oh my Lord, that was like the best thing ever.
After these messages,
The only problem
we'll be
is-
right back.
Yeah, but sometimes my dad would beat me to the TV and he'd watch fishing shows where they don't have those sorts of things.
Yeah, my dad would watch home improvement shows.
So Bob Vila, we're going to get a belt sander out today.
Norm Abrams?
Norm Abrams.
Yeah.
So we
You're
just finished our
old man.
exchange with the good old, what's his name again? Olin. Thank you. I've already forgotten.
Ledouche.
The Ledouche. He is he's made his way off. He's heading back up towards his room, and the three of you are now exiting the Wyvern.
I'm following Stone here.
Yeah, Stone's lead. If he wants to stay at the bar, well, I mean, we have to get back to the tunnel.
If it's
so we can't
Stone's
stay
lead,
too.
we're drinking here all night.
Then never mind.
Well, we have
I think
we
you're
have an
dragging
hour.
Stone out of here.
We have an hour to get back.
Wait. I was going to say this before the break, but you went to break, and I didn't want to interrupt you. I want to take the good alcohol from the room. You said there were bottles of...
Oh, the nice stuff. Okay, you take it.
Cool.
You have it.
We can drink it on our way back. Okay, Stone? And we can sing merrily on our horses. As we
Another round, please.
And the half pint heroes are like, hey, if y'all didn't hear, they're passing out free drinks at the bar. And there is now a mad rush to the front. At that point,
We should exit.
the three of you push your way through the crowd outside to your horses. And there's a pile of bodies behind Wendigo. Apparently, simple directions, not so great. He's just been kicking people the whole time. And there's a city guardsman there, and he's like, excuse me, is this your horse? He's been kicking everyone.
Never seen him before.
Seems like he's a real asshole. You might want to say something to your horse about that. You folks have a great evening. He
Kick
turns
him.
and he gets,
knocks out the guard.
he gets kicked as well. So time to mount up and roll out.
We ride.
And you would have had some direction from Simon as to where this entrance to the mines were, down to the Underdark. Are we going to head there? Are we going there? Are we good?
Are we supposed to meet him there or back at the camp? Wherever we're supposed to meet him.
Down at the mines.
For sake of time, we'll say that you rally up, you get the carriage, you get Valen, and you all roll out.
Cool.
And as you approach, this is pretty close to the coastline. So you're cutting through an old dirt road leading up towards the coast, and there's a bunch of rocky, kind of craggy cliffs there, and there's a big open mouth that leads down into the subterranean, into the Underdark. And there's a sign there, and it's pretty basic. It just says, enter at your own risk, Lone Rock, 5 miles. And that's it.
Lone Rock.
Is this a different entrance than the one that I recently saw?
Completely different. So the
Nice.
one that you saw was pretty close to the hub, and that was much smaller, kind of burrow, kind of tunnel kind of deal. This used to be a pretty major mining operation coming in and out of here.
Okay.
So, at that point, are you the keeper of this letter, Vanya?
Sure.
I'll
Is
say
it-
Natasha because this is how I came.
Is this Volkner that is?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
that we're with
let
now?
me- Stone says, "Let me see that letter."
Valen.
This is Valen.
Valen. Okay. Okay, I give it to you.
Ah, yes. So, delivering 10 cases to Oscar at Lone Rock, 4 cases to Volkner at Lone Rock. This is Lone Rock, so expect those two. But what's interesting is that there's 5 cases going to Coden and Orin. I can't understand yet what the use in Orin is for this explosive. Does that seem
It-
troubling to you?
No. It does not say explosive for Coden. Perhaps it's something different.
Bulk low yield. I suppose, but...
I'm not sure.
righto.
Is there any sort of check we could make to try to figure out what the low yield means?
This would be sort of a science-y kind of check.
Intelligence based.
I'm thinking this might be like a nature check.
Nature. All right.
Let's do a
Can we
nature.
ask the gentleman who's with us?
Or you could do that.
I'm
What
gonna
does this
do that.
mean, low yield?
I'm gonna.
Judging for that roll, let's go ahead and ask.
You look like a scientific, astute fellow.
Yeah, he says, here's what I do know. Those folks, the Dare Dog, they've messed around a few different levels of explosives. They got the real nasty stuff. They've got like the weapons grade, the stuff that they were using to fight us. And then there's some other, like there's a lower, I don't know what they're using it for, but it's almost like a poof. Like you could put it in your hand and it just could go poof. And he keeps doing that and he keeps going poof.
How did it go again?
It goes poof, poof. And
Wait, was it or
he's like, you'll get poof, like a little bit of a poof in a flash. He said, but it's not like it's going to blow up a building or something. So I guess low yield's just low.
distractions?
Small explosion. Something like that.
The masked men of the East use that sort of explosive.
I heard of transport of low yield to Orin. Do you know what that's about?
I've got no idea.
Interesting.
I know that anyone in Orem begin this kind of stuff. Usually the explosives, mostly the dwarven mines that are still in operation, like they'll still use this stuff. But I feel like the Dare Doc, they've got some other plan that they were going to use those explosives for. It's probably weapons. But mostly anyone, it's going to be people down in the mines.
But they would be interested in the high explosive.
Yeah.
What good is this low yield then? Other
I don't
than
know.
clever parlor tricks,
I don't know. People like parlor tricks. I don't know.
I suppose.
Yep. Probably nothing. And
Probably. I understand our DM well, and just a rube.
Definitely nothing to be concerned with.
not at all.
I just wanted to bring that to our attention.
Yep.
All right. Shall we get started?
Yep. So the three of you make your way down, and Valen.
How close are we going to Lone Rock? Is this the place that we're setting the explosive?
Yeah, he says, so Lone Rock is where the active mining site is. This is actually a little bit off to the southern portion, if you will. So shouldn't be populated, shouldn't be anyone down there. In fact, we should be able to get in and out, no problem. It's going to be awfully dark, though. Hope you
That
brought
is no
torches.
problem for me.
Yeah, but I'm not you, so I'm going to light a torch. And if y'all want to light torches too, feel free to do
Yes.
so. And are you guys riding in carriage or with horses, on your horses
I
alongside?
pretty much always take my horse rather than ride in a carriage.
Okay, fair. So you guys push down, and it's a pretty steep descent. As close as it is to the ocean that's right there, this is a very steep grade going down. Any horses that would be hauling things up would have to be some serious work horses. And the air starts to become very chill. Where it was very outside is pretty humid in the evening. It was probably mid 80s, very humid. It's starting to get cold and damp. And with the torches lit, you can see that there's some tracks that go up and down. But can I get a perception check to see if I give you anything else there? Anything else?
Fine.
Roll some dice.
10 on yours. 4 on mine. That's going to be a 9. 14 on your die, Vanya?
Yep.
Yeah.
With your bonus is what?
22.
Okay.
15 total for me.
So as you make your way down, there is some graffiti on the wall. But as you're, I'm sorry, Vanya, you had the highest, correct? Yeah. So you're noticing, especially with some of your understanding of even like thieves can't, you understand that sometimes lingo means different things. Some of this.
What's a dick pic mean? That's all I see on these walls.
There's quite a few
Wow.
of them. Yep. And they're dwarven too, so whatever that means.
Itty bitty ones.
So there's
But stout.
you notice that a lot of this has to do with sort of a code that they're chatting back and forth as far as a number of loads hauled out, places to go, people to avoid, that sort of thing. But you also notice that there are several structural beams supporting the inside of this. So even though this is a massive rocky sort of tunnel going down, it's probably 30 feet across, probably a good 25 feet tall. sort of this oval-shaped tunnel going down. There's still a fair amount of support beams. Some of them have cracked over time, that sort of thing. There's even some areas where you can see dirt starting to slide down. Seems as though if there were any sort of major disruption here, it could cause some serious cave-in issues.
Oh, jeez.
Fun fact.
Here, as in.
As
How
you're descending
many-
down.
Is this just
I
her
mean, like-
observation, or
Oh, right.
are we picking up on this?
I think you guys, you're seeing that there's these beams and everything, but Vanya's getting a little bit more of the, I guess hey, this place is super old. This opening is super old, and it's falling apart.
Danger.
I'm asking because it said Lone Rock 5 miles.
Yep.
5 miles is a lot of distance.
Yep. And you're about 100 yards in,
So where we're actually doing the explosions is going to be.
far down in.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yep. So you make your way down, and as you're traveling, you're seeing more signs of people that have been traveling back and forth. Like you'll see some abandoned carts. You've even seen a couple skeletons of dead horses that didn't make their way out. Some old barrels, things smashed, that sort of thing. Old lanterns that haven't been lit in ages. And you finally get to the bottom where this starts to level out, and you can start really making forward progress where you're not on this steep descent.
Is Vanya going to share that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was just. This entrance is not sturdy. It may possibly make it through the explosion because the explosion is far from entrance, but I'm not sure how well it's going to do with consistent travel.
How many different types of, how many levels of explosions were there in that note? Low yield and then
High explosive.
high explosive and low yield. Valen,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
are we using the high explosive to clear out these tunnels?
I'm assuming that's what it is. Yep.
No, we just want to make a flash.
Poof away the
That was
rock.
pretty. Okay, let's head
And how
back.
how
Kinda
far
fun.
is that? The same that exploded in the where we met you? Were those high or a mid?
No, we didn't take any of the stuff that was in the safe. No, this is all more or less the bombs that they were throwing at us, that sort of thing. We're gonna have to really strategically place these things within the rocks to get the explosion that we're looking for. Strategic
So-
placement.
So the explosion that happened was the result of a higher or lower yield than what we have now.
That final explosion
Yes.
of the safe,
Yes.
that was much higher yield, much higher yield.
How far would you say the vibrations from this explosion might radiate outward from the central point that we're...
He kind of laughs. He's like, this is really my first time doing this.
Son of a bitch.
Have you traveled these tunnels much?
Wait, no one here has ever used these explosives, save Vanya, and that doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, seems like a good idea. I mean, lots of money to be made.
Are
Stone has
you
stopped
familiar?
Wait, are you the only? Are you the one sent on this mission because everyone that's done this before has died? Is
Well, possibly if someone would have been able to save the other three, one of them was more of an expert on this thing. But I've seen some things blow up. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I'm good. I've seen it happen.
this feels like we're being punished by the gods for our inaction.
I mean,
Is there another way in or out? Do I know that?
you would know that in the Underdark there are sort of a
Like
spider
trees,
web
yeah.
network of tunnels that go out. This main mining area, though, they would have done a pretty good job of blocking those to prevent any sort of monsters or whatever from sneaking around.
Right. So as for what we know because of cave-ins, there's only this one entrance that we just came through. So if something bad happens, we'll get stuck down here.
Well, I mean, that could happen.
Yeah, probably not in D&D though. I can't
This
see that
reminds me
happening.
of-
Okay, well,
so
it's
it's like,
really
well,
fun to listen to you guys
you
talk
guys-
about inner dialogues.
You guys got really quiet there for a second. I hope everything's all right, and we'll just carry on then.
I don't want to be buried alive.
Me neither. That sounds terrible. So
Oh, well then, at least we're all on the same page. Let's
I
go.
mean, you know it's a possibility when we are down here exploding things that are very old and unstable.
the mining areas, I mean, it's been blasted over thousands of years. I think we'll be all right. I mean, it was an area that had been caved in. Should be fine. What could go wrong?
Caved in before. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, they used explosives to cave it in. We'll just use some explosives to uncave it in.
How are these explosives going to be ignited?
Yeah, well, we've got some fuses here. You know, light one end.
How
Shit, I
long?
forgot my matches. You
we
guys have
have,
fire?
we are all carrying torches.
Oh,
Flint and
that's why we keep you guys around. Perfect. All right, then. Seems like we've got
asking
this thing.
3 people with torches if they have a match. I don't, as a matter of fact. Shall we?
shit out of luck.
Well, we better head back.
Well, shit.
Well, shit.
So, sounds like we've got this all figured out then. All right.
How long is the
Fuse?
fuse?
Oh, it's he holds it up and it's like this long.
Oh, jeez.
It's like a jump rope.
You're
You know, so-
absolutely fucking kidding me.
Well, I mean, you know, it's not like I do this every day.
There was nobody else with more experience that could come down here.
Well, Toby, God rest his soul. He he's been practicing with these explosives quite a bit, but ever since he got blowed up a couple hours ago,
Yep.
we suddenly are at a distinct lack of explosive experts. So, but
Who makes this shit with these explosives? Who makes them?
well, it's a dare dog.
Yeah, they just
We've
saw
gone
him.
over this.
Yeah, but
It,
we don't know who in particular.
Greg. I don't know what you're asking me.
I want to know if there's a way that we can figure out how these should be properly employed.
It's a
We're
little
not
late for
gonna
that.
know. Yeah, we're already down here.
A little
Yep,
late for that.
we're here.
We're going to figure it out one way or the other. If you want to go find one of the dwarves, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help out.
I think maybe I will untwine some of this rope I carry to make that fuse quite a bit longer.
Shit,
So-
that's a good idea. You might be an explosive expert. Have you ever thought about that?
Wow.
Damn right I am.
That's all you need to qualify?
How about I take some of this rope and make that thing longer?
Get me some of their rope there.
All right, so you come up to a portion that has been blocked off with wooden planks, and there's
Oh.
a very
Looks like we have to go back.
there's a very crude elementary like keep out with a little skull drawn on it. And he says, "Well, it's going to be beyond here, so help me knock down some of these boards." And he hops off the carriage with
I'll
the
just
crowbar.
like chop them all down with my greatsword.
It's like,
I
"Let's-
can't help but notice the skull on the sign. If they were simply done mining, why such terrible?
why are you so worried about skulls? I have a skull. You have a skull. We all have skulls.
I do remember a skull on the label of a certain explosive.
Well, what could go wrong?"
Literally a billion things.
He takes his crowbar and he starts popping out planks. He says, "This thing isn't going to open itself."
I'm just.
Oh, so
knocking
you are
them
gonna
out
use
with
a
it.
greatsword.
Yeah.
You know, you gave Vanya so much flack
Yeah,
for
this-
touching
these,
it.
These
and
are
you
wooden
just-
planks, not explosive vials.
I didn't know they were explosive vials, and you don't know what's behind the planks.
And Zarin is now an explosives expert, so he
Right.
knows what he's dealing
These are
with.
not
Yeah.
explosive planks.
The differences are you are addressing an explosive expert,
Right.
and he did not take a vial of high explosive and then put it into a huge
Safe
section
containing even more explosives.
All right.
pressurized. Yeah.
So you knock the rest of the planks out of the way, kick them out of the way, and now Valen is bringing the carriage into what is now opening up to be a huge, like, cavernous area, huge tall ceilings. You cannot see the tops of the ceilings, just how tall it is. And it's a small mining town in there, a bunch of abandoned houses. It looks like a small village within this cavern, and it is a ghost town. As you're looking around, why don't you roll another perception check for me? Roll them dice. Let's talk about
That
the
19
dice.
on yours?
yeah.
Nice.
24.
I got an 18 on mine, so that is a... What are we rolling?
Perception.
23.
18.
18. Perfect.
Man, high rollers.
High rollers. So as you are riding through this little mining town, it seems as though most of these buildings built with wooden planks and whatnot, they are definitely deteriorated, dilapidated, and not safe to walk through. In fact, a lot of the like the decks coming off of some of the fronts of these houses and the little offices that they've got, you can see that people's foots
Their foots.
have clearly just stomped straight through some of the planks. Like, it is not structurally sound. There are some areas that would have been stables, things like that. There's all kinds of old mining carts. In fact, there are tracks that you see that lead off into the distance away from the mining town, into a shaft over that way. And you can see that there's definitely an area that's been caved in. And it seems like that's the direction Valen is headed that way. And you also notice that, I guess the way that it's caved in, there's probably a better way to place some of these explosives to maybe not blow yourself up and cave yourself in, because y'all rolled so dang good.
Excellent.
You guys are like, we got
Explosive
an
experts.
explosive expert and explosive apprentices, explosive deputies. Yes.
Nah.
No. All right. So,
I'm
so
the
much.
sheriff around this
Do
place.
the structures holding up the cavern sound?
So the area that you're in, this mining town area, seems to be pretty safe. As you get further away towards this tunnel, the amount of damage that's been done from caving in, like, you're not really going to know what you're dealing with until you start blasting away.
Oh,
Man.
Just
It's
what we
fine.
want to hear.
It's fine.
Okay. I'm following the lead of the guy that brought us down here, I guess.
Yep.
Except for placing them where it might be better. Because I don't know if he's going to know that. So
And he's dumping these boxes on the ground and picking them up as they scatter out.
Stop that.
Sorry, it's my first time. I thought it was a good idea.
Just be carefully set. No, keep it level.
Now, see,
Set
with
it
this,
down softly.
this you actually have to ignite it for it to blow up. Look, he bangs it on a rock.
Don't do that.
He's like, it won't blow up if you just smack it. You have to light it.
why don't you wait
Do you
with
know
the carriage?
how flint and tinder works?
Well, I don't have any of that. I don't even have matches, remember?
Oh my gosh.
Don't make sparks by banging things.
Oh, it's just a stick of this explosive here. It's not going to spark. And he tosses it to you. See?
Okay.
Yep.
I swear to God, if you make me try dexterity.
You catch it, no problem.
All right.
And he says, if you want to take the point on it, that's fine. I'll stay here by the carriage. Make sure the horse doesn't get spooked.
He's not going to be capable of doing that either.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see. All right.
We'll see.
So you all have several crates of explosives that have been brought over.
We're looking for Olin, the dark-haired douche. He's making his way down here. Why don't you keep an eye out?
Oh, excellent. Yes. I'll look out for the douche.
I think it's funnier to think that Zarin still doesn't know that the word douche is like a bad one, so he just thinks it's like a title, like the blacksmith.
Douche, son of Baron.
So
The dark-haired douche.
so y'all make quick work of placing said explosives? Are you going to place explosives?
Oh yeah, and there's some left over. I'm sure that we can make a nice trap for that Titan.
Okay. So where do you want to place said trap? How do you want to do
Perfect
this?
place for a Titan.
That's
It's a very narrative-driven
Yes.
description.
I mean, are they coming all the way down here? They're meeting us in the tunnel or outside the tunnel and then go?
they had said that they were going to meet you down there to check out the tunnel to make sure it was sound.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stone, is this the place? We
Sure.
can take some of these out. We can take a Titan out on the road if we need to.
Absolutely.
But why not use some of the help from these?
Right. I fear, though, that if we try to blast him in any of these tunnels, we may, unfortunately, isolate ourselves down here.
Well, let's put it in a place where we're not going to isolate ourselves. But is there a path that we can see that is going to come through where if
I
we
assume
set up
they'll
a blast
come the way we came.
Yeah. So the way we came, can we set up a blast, like say a fiery bolt or a fiery energy ray hits a vial, it'll cause the explosion of all of those and consume a Titan without having to blast the whole entrance.
We can.
Like far enough away, because this is a large cavern. So if he's coming through here, we can go.
I would suggest we just use the explosive, not to cave anything in on him, but to
just
simply kill him. So something out here in the open would be much safer than in the tunnel.
You don't just want to take out the Titan. You want to kill him with the explosion.
I have not decided if I want to kill him or torture him for days on end before I kill him.
It got dark.
I'm sorry. So this looks good right here. I'm looking for like a little dip in the ground. We could put some explosive and just force the conversation into an area.
There are some different crates strewn about. There's some different mine carts strewn about. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could probably arrange a little area there.
Yeah, I'm essentially thinking, unless you have a better idea, just some sort of little trap pit that we force the conversation into an area and get them standing over, and then
If it's like a natural way, if we could probably line the carts up so like the Titan's huge, right?
He's a big guy.
So if it's just narrow enough for
two
him to walk
carts that
through,
walk between them.
yeah,
Holy crap! I like it.
yeah,
Yes.
All right.
According to calculations, these carts need to be here, so we'll get them put here, and we start moving.
Help us. You can help us with this.
Yes. And he says, "Oh, okay. Well, I was going to watch the horse, but that sounds good too."
No, there's
comes over.
math.
Oh,
and
I'm very good at math.
physical explosive math.
What
Yes.
is the air speed velocity of an unladen swallow?
It's actually 7. 7.
Oh,
Clever.
good. So you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. So he starts helping you arrange some carts there. And
Kind of put them in like a little bit of a V,
Yeah.
like a. But we need to put them somewhere that looks like it's close to where something might need to be.
Where they should be. Make it look natural.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay, great.
Valen apparently is just kind of aloof. I think we picked up
I
on
think
this.
yeah.
And he helps you arrange these things. He's like, I'm not real sure how this is going to help us blow up that. I mean, we're going to have to bring carts through here. But
Stone just starts bullshitting about math he doesn't understand. Well, according to the square root of the explosive force, and see, look straight up, and there's 90 degrees.
Oh,
It's
So-
yield in joules divided by the Newtonian. No, wait. That's,
Yes, and of course, alcohol's over a 12% ABV. Then
well, hold on. It's actually 14%. But I see what you're going with that there. So,
yes, I didn't account for that.
So he,
pushes it an inch. Yes.
so given some time, you've spent more time arranging this to kind of create this this bottleneck here. And so far, no explosions have gone off. But given some time, you do hear there are some horse hoofs coming down the tunnel quite a ways away. The sound's carrying.
So I have a, before we get into this, just something Stone's been wondering. Well, Matt's been wondering. Stone, I don't know that he knows much about this world, the Underdark, the Drow thing. I maybe want to do a history check, but it sounds like this area is known for some creepy shit to Stone. You're talking about monsters and things.
Yeah.
So, what would a commoner? I mean, he's kind of Stone. You know his history. He's not been a part of something like this.
No.
I think there would be a healthy dose of fear of opening doors that have been closed for thousands of years in places where there are rumors of monsters and crazy things. Yes.
That's probably a fair concern.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So,
You probably have a drow or at least a half drow in your midst that might know a thing or two.
Yeah.
You.
Vanya.
After.
Vanya. Is it true your people are familiar with these types of areas.
Is it also true that they drink the blood of other races?
Is it true that you were once light but darkened in the sun?
What?
I'm sorry. Let's go with the first question.
Yes.
Now that we're here.
To
and
the
we're-
first question.
Oh, well, okay. Then now that we're here, we will come back to the third one, yes. I am slightly afraid from stories I've heard of what may lie beyond these collapsed tunnels.
I think that is a very wise thing to be. We should be on guard always when down here.
The dwarves dug too deep into the mine.
All right. So my fears are not unwarranted, then we need to make sure that we do not open these holes.
You coward! Blowing it up. I'm kidding.
Where'd you get a gun? Never seen that before.
We agreed to open the one tunnel.
Oh,
And-
just the one.
It is just
Oh,
the one,
fine.
right? Is
Yeah,
it just one?
it's just the one.
Yeah.
Ah,
Under the ocean.
nothing bad could be behind one of these then.
And perhaps there might be some things that are unpleasant. Perhaps we can handle them. But when traffic becomes higher, I don't see a lot of the monstrous things remaining near high traffic areas.
DM, please show us what's behind door number 1.
Wait, before you do that. I mean, we're not blowing it up yet, right? Can Vanya look for signs of any known, like if she's seen how things burrow or tracks or whatever?
That'd be a real good nature check.
She's good natured. I think she passes that check.
That's a good face.
10.
So, and given your background, you look around. It doesn't seem as though there's any fresh tracks by any means. This place has been deserted for quite a while. You don't see any footprints, and you don't see any burrowing. It seems like this is a pretty safe area.
Okay. I'll share this with these two.
My fear, though, isn't that these walls will collapse to keep people out, but to keep what may be on the other side from.
Does this look like
Coming
is
in.
that exactly what this is? We're not opening a brand new tunnel. This is a previously collapsed tunnel.
Correct.
Okay.
You can even see the minecart tracks leading right up to the collapsed area.
Okay.
So my suggestion is, let's pass. Let's
1,000
just,
gold.
yeah.
The echoing of the horse hoofs is getting closer.
1,000 gold though, right?
I mean, is it for us, or are we going to work with the Arcos? Are we going to bring this information back to the hub and say it was not sturdy to finish now to the douche?
I don't know. We can decide that later. I think what we know for sure is that we have our trap set up for the Titan, and this might be Olden's last night.
What are we gonna do with our guide?
Is that what we're calling him?
I don't know what to call him. I keep forgetting his name.
Leyland.
We will tell him to keep back from those, from the what we're not calling the trap, the secure area with the funnel.
You're working with one of the Three Stooges here, apparently, and just a complete imbecile. He's like, all right, well, I'll take the horse over this way. Don't want it to get blasted.
Right.
All right, makes sense. So he takes the horse off to the side, and it's off by another little mining town office.
All right.
All right, so you hear
Stone puts his hood up
I'm gonna hide.
and cloak on.
Wait, if you're worried about dangers on the other side of this, perhaps the Titan will come in handy. So we wait to fire off the explosive until we see what comes through, what happens when the tunnel opens.
I could give 2 shits about opening this tunnel.
Oh, I thought you said you were afraid. Okay.
I mean, I don't care to open it.
Oh, okay.
I'm here for my own personal purposes.
Okay. So,
Can I hide?
yep.
Cool.
Go and roll for hiding.
She just whoop leaves. Vanya, they coming? What?
Like that, you did the Super Mario leap.
I rolled a 17.
Perfect. So, Vanya, you find a nice little area where you can kind of get a perch in there and get yourself protected around some different rock formations and whatnot. You've got a good sniper vantage.
Cool.
And, gentlemen, you're standing there and you hear with the echoing in this cavern, and the fact where you're standing, it all seems to sound directed towards you. You can hear the voice of Olin talking to the Titan as they ride in. And sure enough, as you get closer, they get closer, you see torch lit, and there's Olin. And he's talking to the Titan, who's on a massive war horse. And Olin says, well, something doesn't seem right here. It seems like this thing's still blocked up. What are you all doing down here? Are you just
Hold on.
wasting time?
Yes, we thought you would like to see this. Don't come any closer quite yet. The Titans, they are, from what we've seen, extra flammable. You can come through a bit of the ways, but we were just about to let you see the show.
All right. Well, I suppose if it's safe, are you an explosive expert?
Valen, am I an explosive expert?
He's the best I know. I do need you.
I do have this rope.
I do need you to roll a deception check on the first bit.
What's deceptive?
As far
He's
as
trying to save his life.
as far as I need you to walk down this way.
Oh,
Sort of thing.
He said the first
Titans
bit.
are so
Yeah, the Titan
flammable.
needs to stay behind.
Oh
and,
boy.
That's not bad. No, 16.
All right. He says, all right there. Well, so Edsel, stay here with the horses. I'm going to go see what's going on here.
Did you call him Sir Edsel?
Edsel.
Yeah. You didn't get his name before?
No.
He
I
said,
didn't
he
either.
said it before. It's Sir Edsel. Mm-hmm. He said it when you were standing in the hallway.
So he climbs down off of his horse. He takes a torch, and he's like, "So all right, if I have the
Careful with that.
all right, perfect." And he approaches, and he's walking down towards the bottleneck here, and he says, "So what's the game plan here?"
Watch. Now, light the end of the rope
Okay.
so it burns slowly forward, far away, that whole 50 feet of burning.
Well, this is taking
Just
quite some
let the
time.
excitement build. Just wait for it.
Now, just so
Wait for it.
All
No,
right,
just so
all
I'm
right,
on
we
the
need
same
to
page
step
here.
back.
Are you?
right.
I'm back.
So this is to blow up the caved-in rocks, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And just so I understand what your intentions are here, this is just to open up the cavern.
Yes, this right here. Yeah. No, so the hidden explosives where the Titan is, that has to be specifically ignited by a fiery crossbow bolt or a fiery ray.
Okay.
And we're waiting to do that to see if there's a monster behind here to get the Titan first, right?
Or hordes of monsters, something like this. Yes.
We'll just use the Titan as, the bait.
Well, also
Or
we
get
can
away.
we can fall back behind that and
Feed
blow
it.
that up if things are coming at us. But yes.
Okay.
Where are we at on time here?
We're good.
We're good.
What time are we at?
We're at 40
40? Okay.
since the break.
Okay. Perfect. I just want to make sure. I've completely lost track of time. All right. So, Olin, he looks pretty nervous, and he crouches down by one of the crates there that has been arranged as the black powder on the rope is sparkling and work its way down. And sure enough, as soon as you see that spark right up into the rock face,
Before you finish that,
Uh-oh.
how far is Vanya? You got a ways away, yes?
I'm.
Out
Yeah, you-
Sniper Town?
Yeah.
She's out
Yeah.
in Sniperville.
yeah. So I would say probably the best vantage for you is probably somewhere between where the Titan is and between where the opening is, or where it's
Okay.
going to be. So
All
that
right.
way you can cover both ways, right?
Sure.
Yep. Perfect.
Yep.
I'm going to blow some side points here. I'm going to... I'm going to spend 13 side points It's two things, but we're not in combat, so it would be two actions. But this is kind of as they're talking and things. Is that okay?
And what are you gonna do? And I'll let you know.
I'm going to spend 7 psi points while I'm touching Zarin. That is energy immunity.
Mm-hmm.
I can give him immunity to either acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage.
Okay.
So fire.
Okay.
And then on myself for 5, same thing.
Okay.
So the two of us both have immunity, not just resistance.
To fire. Just watch out for those rocks that are coming your way.
I mean, I don't have rock damage. That's
you don't
not
have,
a thing.
You don't have rock immunity, huh? Yeah. All right. So you see this this sparkle of black powder right up the fuse, and you see it start to disperse to all the different bombs that you placed around those rocks, and just this barrage of explosions. It is deafening, and there is a significant fireball that shoots out. Zarin, Stone, you both cover your eyes. You see Olin, he dips down further below that crate, and holy shit, man, what are you doing? And
Winning.
it all shoots this huge cloud of dust and smoke and debris rushing past you. And Vanya, where you're at, you are safe and from any of that debris flying through. And as the explosions go off and dust is falling all around you, you see that this chasm this tunnel has been completely opened up, and there is nothing on the other side but darkness to greet you. And the stench of just this dank, moldy, old air rushes out to meet you. And there's a chill that comes with it. The air is much colder on that other side. And Olin stands up, and he turns to face the two of you, and he says, "Boys, that was impressive. Nicely done. Nicely done." And he nods, and he's smiling. This just shitty smile.
And
I'm an explosive expert.
And Stone steps in front of him. Still probably 10 feet. And pulls the hood off of his face and looks Olin directly in the eyes.
And that, friends, is where we're going to cut this week's episode on Miss and Mystics. Thanks for tuning in. We love you. We'll see you next time.